What's up, guys? Back again for workout 3. We've done ball mastery, which were the little touches, the roll stops, the croquetas. We've done passing and receiving, which was off the wall. And then now we're gonna do turns. So today is all about turns. We're gonna measure it out and get going with our turns. So this is something new you guys can do. Turns are super important in the game. Obviously, we do them all the time, and the more we have in our toolkit, the better off we're gonna be. So here we go. Just like figure eights, we need to measure 16 feet. We're gonna make a rectangle. So you need 4 markers and a tape measure. Here we go. So that's our space. We've got 2 cones there that make kind of a gate. I'm using the line as a reference point. If you don't have a line, that's okay. And then we got another 2 gates across from those 16 feet apart. Pretend that there's a line between, and we're gonna have to break that line on our turns, okay? So first up, we have cut push, which we're gonna use the inside of one foot and the outside of the other foot. So the counting is gonna be the same as it was for figure eights. We start with the middle space. So that's 1. And then when we get to the far gate, that's 2, 3 back at the middle space, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And like always, we're trying to go as fast as we can while still being in control. Because if we lose the ball and it flies off over that way, we're losing a lot of time where we could be getting points, all right? So here we go. 30 seconds. Okay, so notice I went completely over the line every time. In order for it to count, we've got to go over the line. And then on my turn, I use the inside of one foot and the outside of the other foot to push back into the space. And then on the other side, I use the opposite foot. So over here, I went, I think, inside right, outside left. And then over here, we did inside left, outside right. So if you're spinning around in a circle and you're getting dizzy, that's not the right way to do it. Your turns should face the same way each time. So every time I turn, I face this way. Turn over there, face this way. Turn over there, face this way. So you're not going around in a circle. All right, moving on. Number 2, it's the same exact setup, the same exact counting system, and it's gonna be that way for all of these exercises. The second one is a step over turn. And I'm gonna do the step over a very specific way. Hopefully you can see this. But when I step here, I'm gonna now use the inside of my right foot to push the ball back where I wanna go, okay? So I step inside right, then I'm gonna go step inside left, all right? So watch closely. I might do it in slow motion so you can see it, but it's very specific, okay? Here we go. Okay, it's tough to remember to go right step over, left touch, then left step over, right touch. But the thing to remember is if you're spinning in a circle, that's not the right way. So you've got to really think when you're doing this, just like in a game. I'm using my brain to think about which foot am I going to be using. and how can I still go fast, okay? And don't forget, in between rounds, so let's say you plan on doing 3 rounds of each, so 3 rounds of cut push, trying to get your top score, 3 rounds of step overturns, trying to get your top score. In between, work on your juggling, because it's not that taxing. It's active rest where you're still touching a ball, okay? So when your heart rate's up, like mine is, juggle, right? Put your 30 seconds on, try and get your juggling high. That's your rest. And then when you're done, you can go back and do your next round. All right, so now we're ready for the next round. Okay, so now we've got Cruyff turns, and these are gonna be the most challenging for me. Again, right foot on one side, left foot on the other. Here we go. Okay, so on the Cruyff turns, the hardest part's gonna be getting that foot, that standing leg, out of the way. Because the ball will hit that foot if it's not out of the way. So make sure the way to prevent that from happening is turn your hips as much as you can. So when I'm doing my turn, as I'm turning, I'm not gonna hit the ball till I'm about here, and then I can come this way. So make sure you're turning your hips. If you don't turn your hips enough, you're gonna end up doing that, right? I guarantee you that's gonna happen to you guys over and over again. So turn your hips, try and make a clean touch.